PR Connections Radio presents.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Professionals Podcast. I am your host, Rachel West. I am an empowerment coach specializing in mental fitness and addiction recovery. I have a very special guest with me today, Amy Frost. She is an energetic facilitator, trainer, collaborator, committed to supporting people. She is involved with many things in our community and always helping any way she can. Welcome to the show, Amy.
Thank you. I am so honored to be here. And you're one of us. You're out there doing good work all the time and do it in a way that's fun. I think that's the trick, right? If you don't make it fun for people, they're not going to come and they're not going to stay.
Exactly. Everybody wants an experience. So to get started, we're going to jump right in. Give us a quick 5-minute or so background in how you got to what you are doing today and what it is that you're doing today.
Great. Okay. Let's see. I can do it.
I think
let me see. I started out as a very small child. Oh, I know.
Yes.
So I guess I'm just going to go for it. Are you ready? Here we go.
Yeah, we're ready.
So I remember, I don't even know how old I was, but I was really young. And I remember realizing I had this great power and that I could do all kinds of amazing things. And I declared to the world, the universe, God, whomever, that I would use this power for good, not evil. And I had no idea what that meant. I don't know where I got that from, but it's kind of been my motto in life. And I would say one of my favorites, I have this at my desk. You see, do good, bring friends.
Yes.
And that's what I live by. And if it ain't fun, it ain't done. That too. But I grew up in the military. I was born in a military base, MacDill Air Force Base. Lived there 6 months, and had the whole military child experience, the yays and the blehs. And at 18, I started working full time at the Department of Defense and going to school at night. So I've always loved business. My family is very business oriented. My great grandfather came from Denmark on the boat and started a hardware store, and then he had a chain of hardware store. And this is a Nielsen family thing. Every year they had an annual going out of business sale. So so for us, it was always about being entrepreneurial, and for me, it's within the context of other organizations. So I'm an entrepreneur, really more than an entrepreneur. And I'm working with lots of great organizations doing good work. So I get my bachelor's in business, and then I get into a 5-year intern program and in contracting. And every year I'd get a promotion, and I did everything I needed to empower myself in my career. I was always in HR. I was always what's available, what can I do? And that's one of the things I love to do, is help people empower themselves in their careers and their businesses, whatever that happens to be. Because we're in charge whether we think we are or not, right? And I know you know that better than anybody. And so I did that, and I for 20 years helped build missiles for a living, ballistic missiles. That's what I did. I was a total quality management trainer and facilitator, because there's just always so much more good work to do. But my husband died in Desert Storm in 91, and then it really made me stop and think about, who am I really? What do I care about? And so then I got an MBA first, and kept getting the promotions, and I was just going to go to DC and rule contracting. Then my husband died, and I was like, do I really care about that anymore? And one of the things I did, I got a second master's in spiritual psychology. So I guess the parts of me are make it happen, make it happen, make it happen, and then the other part of me is, and why? Why do we care about any of that? Mm-hmm. And when I left the government, I did a lot. I taught for University of Phoenix, pretty much full time for 5 years. Career and life skills. I have worked for employee assistance programs for many years, and I work with the Career Institute. And what we do is we work with companies and helping the employees and the leadership in playing nicely with each other's skills, as it were. Right. And coaching the employees to empower themselves. And so it's a little bit of a delicate dance, because I mean, I've been in situations where I've worked with groups of people in an organization and they realized they didn't want to be there anymore. So that was good. And so I had to help leave them and get them to leave in a way that would work for them and for the company. So today, a large part of my work is I work with a lot of really amazing organizations, help them do good work. And because of my background, I'm very passionate about helping veterans, but even more specifically, veteran spouses and adult children of veterans, which I'm an adult children. And for me, we've not had a voice. And I really want to help the spouses and family members to have a voice. We stand in service too. And so I guess that's kind of the cliff notes.
I love that. And I feel like there's not a lot of resources for the spouses and children as there is for the veteran themselves.
Yes. And there are some, but not a whole lot. And there's a difference between resources and support for military members and military spouses and veterans who are either they're not necessarily retired, they may be, but they're out for whatever reason, and their spouses. Like for myself personally, I got no support in how do you go from being a military spouse to a veteran spouse.
Mm-hmm.
And my own experience wasn't that big a shift because my husband now runs the vet center at UNLV. And so I'm still doing a lot of things I would have done as the commander's wife, in supporting him and his teams. Yeah. And so my transition wasn't as hard, I think, as a lot of people's. That you didn't get any support. Really, nobody talked about the difference between when you're in active duty and when you're not.
Yeah. So tell us some of the things that you're currently working on, some of the organizations that you're helping support.
I'm working with Adopt-A-Cop. They work with police that sign and first responders who sign up to have people pray for them and or with them. And they have an annual prayer conference, and they do a lot of other things. And I really love what they're doing. And I'm also talking to them about how do we create programs for first responder spouses. Because I know I have a lot of friends who have husbands that are police, and it's tough. You don't know when they go, are they going to come back? Mm-hmm. And one of my sisters she's been a 911 dispatcher for over 27 years. And I want to be there and support her. Number one, you can't get her on the phone. So that's that's challenging to support her. And then when, okay, tell me what's going on. And she starts sharing stories, and it's too much for me. So I listen as much as I can, but it's really tough. And wow. So, but I know how to get support, and I know how to say, I want to support you, but I can only take so much. Yeah. And so, right. But most people don't. Yeah. And they're not having those conversations. So, yeah. And again, it feels like a lot of things that I'm doing are starting to intersect in different ways. Another thing that I'm doing and working with the Southern Nevada Veteran Chamber of Commerce. They've been around about 1.5 years. And what I love about them most is they are bringing together not only veterans in our community and veteran-owned businesses and spouse and family member, but also the resources. And Lester, who's the creator, he says, I'm not here to reinvent the wheel. What I'm doing is here to take great programs that are already existing and work with them and bring them together. And one of the things that he's doing, so here the Mission Continues is an organization. It's a nonprofit that's been around for a while. And what they do is they create missions for veterans in different communities. And they're starting a chapter here in Vegas. And so I'm supporting, okay, so what would that look like? And what kind of things would we be doing? For me, with that, then they're going to be supporting schools or doing cleanup projects and stuff like that. And that's really great. And for me, it's about, I like to call it a neighborhood watch. and really watching out for each other. Like I
Mhm.
watch people's social media and I
Mhm.
check in with people by text, email, different things to see how they're doing. And for me, the focus is, yeah, people out there doing good stuff, but people are not supporting them. And so how do I make sure I'm there for them and I do check-ins for them and making sure that's happening. And because we're all at risk, we're all at risk. And the people that are out there doing good work are not being supported.
Mhm.
And so that's one of the things I'm really, really passionate about. And of course, I talked about my husband, Ross, who runs the veteran program at University of Las Vegas. They just had their 10th anniversary and they are nationally recognized, doing amazing, amazing work. And I do spend a lot of time keeping him in the game. And I support student veterans that are part of his programs and helping them to stay in the game too. It's a full-time job.
Mhm.
And in my spare time, I'm a writer. A lot of part of my work is I'm writing on a lot about work addiction and how
Mhm.
sometimes I have many pages, and at some point I need to just say, okay, I'm going to get finished and it's done. But what I'm calling it is a workaholic's guide to resilience at work. And
I
I
love
believe
it.
there's a lot of us out here and we
Yes.
all kid about work addiction. Ha ha. How funny is that? But
Yeah.
it destroys relationships. It destroys our health. It's a problem. And again, I want to bring it to light in a fun way, but a serious way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then a good friend of mine, she teases me. I don't know if she's really teasing, but she said, you have this ability to get people, kind of grab them, take them down to the bottom of the ocean to do the work, and they don't even know what's happening until it's already done. And she
Yeah.
said,
That's amazing.
so part of that is I really love people and I really want to support them. And I'm like, what if a good friend of mine, Trinae, she and I have been threatening to write a book for years. And I think that's, again, I've got all these, it's not like I'm not busy and it's not like I don't have a lot to do, but calling it loving each other into strength.
Mm.
And, and especially for women,
Yes.
as women in the workplace, we have not been real collaborative. It's kind of like, I've got mine, forget you, and we've been in our silos. I see that changing, not for everybody, but I'm not going to work with anybody, male or female, that isn't helping to love me into strength, and I'm loving them
Yeah.
into strength. It's
Yeah.
because I just don't have the time and energy for it at this point in my life.
Mhm.
So ask me questions. Anything, I'm doing
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. So if someone is listening and they're struggling and they want support, but they're afraid to reach out or seek help or embarrassed to seek help, what advice could you give them to take a small action step forward?
Great question. Number one, there's certainly look at counseling. If you're really struggling, if you find yourself crying all the time, maybe you can't get out of bed, you find everything is a major effort, please consider finding some counseling. So let's just put that on the table and not have a stigma about that. If you need that support, there are so many great resources right that are out here now about using breathing techniques and different energy psychology techniques that I find are really helpful. What for me, the key is connecting with yourself. And please jump in here at any time, Rachel.
Yeah.
For me, that's meditating, but I'm only going to be meditating like 5 or 10 minutes, and I could do that. I'm going to throw a couple things out and have you, throw out things maybe yourself.
Mhm.
That for me, it's being in stillness,
Mhm.
and I don't have to do it very long, just 5 or 10 minutes. And the way my brain works, I have to set a timer because otherwise I'm looking at the clock, looking at the, so I will set a timer and say, all right, just be. I'm not meditating. I'm not praying. I'm not doing anything other than being and
Yeah.
being in stillness. And do you do that? Do you take time just to be in stillness?
I do. The first thing when I wake up in the morning is I set my phone my alarm in the room, my office, which is across from my room. So I have to get up to turn it off. Doing that helps your body start moving and start awake, but you're still kind of sleep mode. So then I go to the couch and I turn on the kitchen light where I am right now. So there's a little bit of light, but it's not super strong. So I can still kind of stay in that sleep zone, but I'm awake and aware. And that is the most fun time for me because I am just being, and I get some really good help me out.
Awareness,
Well,
maybe.
awareness, but I get
Refreshment, right? As in refreshing your spirit, maybe.
I'm thinking like I'm getting my brain is just in that state where things are coming in clear. I'm getting clarity on things that I might have been during the week or during the day where I don't have the focus. It comes to me in that time.
I love that. And so do you do that other times during the day too?
Just right when I wake up.
Okay, so I'm just gonna, you don't have to commit to anything or do anything.
Yes.
So I'm in my office and I have a door on it because the old days I didn't, and I would never not work. So, and I have a bell I ring to start the day and a bell I ring to stop the day. Workaholic. I do not get emails on my phone. So it's good. We have to manage ourselves. So in the next room, I have a prayer chair. And I'll go in there, even if it's just for a couple of minutes, to clear myself, and to get into that stillness. And I've kind of trained my body when I sit in that chair and take a couple of these breaths, I can go to stillness.
Yes, very cool.
So not just saying it's great that what you're doing, but it might be good maybe a couple other times a day, to do that. So definitely connecting with yourself, lots of ways to do that. And doing different practices, like, when basic tapping, you do they call it the karate chop, or you can do it that way. And just say to yourself, even though I'm not sure how this podcast is going to go, I still completely love and accept myself, even though who knows what's going to happen and how people are going to receive anything that we say. I still completely trust Rachel, and it's all going to be fine. Even just, and I can feel these. But the trick is, what I like to say, these different tools are effective and they work, but they don't work if you don't use them.
Yes, that's what
So I set alarms. People that I work with, like you, we ping each other. I'm like, oh, why don't we stop and breathe now? Like I was with a group, and there was some crazy stuff going on with the computers and that. And we were all trying to, and I said, why don't we just all stop and take some nice deep breaths and, and imagine everything's going to work out okay. And crazy enough, it did.
Yes. And there's so many different self-care, me time, pausing, whatever you want to call it in your day, even if it's for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, that time is so important. And so many people forget to do that, don't know to do that, think it's a waste of time, think they don't have time to do it.
Right.
But setting a reminder, setting your alarm, we all carry phones now.
Yep.
And just taking a moment just to take a deep breath in, if that's all you can give, but something to just pause in your day will be a huge impact. You do it once a day for a month and you'll see a significant change, even that small little thing.
Absolutely. That you do. And, consider, what is your ringtone? A good friend of mine, hers is Tibetan bells. So when that goes, you're just like, so what your ringtone is could be important, right, in your daily practice. So having a practice and doing it, and there's a zillion tools. I know you teach a lot of them. I teach a lot of them. I'm always looking for new ones because I think our ego, our brain, however you want to make sense of this, will head you off at the path if you're always doing the same thing.
Yes.
Right? So you need to trick it.
Yes.
Like I commit each weekend, I look at what tool am I going to use this week? And that's what I use.
I do
And
the
I
same thing.
try different ones and, just because, things can get stale. It's like
Yeah.
working out your body. It's also, right, your mental fitness, your emotional fitness, and your spiritual fitness. One of the things that my dear friend, Dr. Kristen Miller, and I talk a lot about is working with our souls and how asking our soul, what would you have me do now? What would you have me do now? And being in you and I've had this conversation about how do I do good work on the planet in a calm way instead of make it happen right now.
Yeah.
I don't have any answers. I really don't. But number one, have a circle of support that you completely trust. I mean, we're all going to do stupid things and, and we may have to forgive ourselves and each other, and that's okay. But people who are willing to say, whatever, I made a mistake. Those, to me, I have 5, 6 people that I could give my wallets and all my passwords and never have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have people all over the world. One of my closest friends, Sarah, is in England, so I can call her in my middle of the night, and it's her afternoon. So it's having people that you can reach out to. I've had lost a couple of significant people in the last few months, and I've needed support in ways I didn't necessarily need it before. And it's really interesting. A couple of really good friends of mine are going through the same thing. And so we're trying to support each other while we're limping. And so I have some new people that aren't limping right now that I'm leaning on.
Yeah.
So you gotta have a pool of people, because we're all going through stuff. We're all dealing with stuff. And I know, and especially the kind of work that you and I do, we're supporting people who are going through a lot of stuff.
Yes.
And you know what? Teachers are, first responders are, I mean, really leaders are, everybody is. So know that these techniques really are self-care in a whole new way, and that we have to do them ongoingly. So connecting to self, having techniques you use, and then having a support system and doing it. I have standing calls the third Tuesday of the month, the last Thursday, different calls, different Zooms, different meetings with people to support. I support them, they support me, and we support each other in different ways. But if I wait to make that phone call or to bring that group together, you know what? It ain't going to happen because I'm busy. But if it's on my schedule, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Planning. So I have a belief that on media in any form, we always see the glitz and the glam of a professional, but what we don't see is the behind the scenes, the personal things. So if someone is listening and they're going through a challenging time in their life or in their business or their career, what is something that you have done when you were in that position and helped you get through it? Somebody who's in the headspace of, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. This is a really challenging time. How could you help them have hope that they can get through it and will get through it?
For me, having lost a spouse suddenly, everything got flipped upside down. Choosing to leave a job I was going to stay at for 30 years and left at 20. I've had many times that I've had to start over in my life. And even I'm in Las Vegas now, but I was in California for many years and really had an amazing career set up there. But the fellow they happened to fall in love with, darn him, moved to Vegas. And so for 8 years, we were going back and forth. And then it was like, okay, I made the choice to give up that life to come to this life. So, so I've done this over and over and over again. So yes, I'm a big fan of that everything is possible, and there's times you've got to do the work. So for me, sometimes it's about, well, I guess it's a multi-pronged approach. Definitely get counseling, coaching, whatever you need. Have a variety of people, and knowing that when my husband died, I needed a different type of support than when I was changing careers. Just having career coaches, having nutritional specialists, different things. And kind of how I look, kind of the work I kind of see that I do is more like a project manager for people. It's kind of like, okay, what are the areas, that, and we're all working on something. Who are the people that you can get to support you, or what are the organizations that can support you? My work on the planet, I do one-on-one, but that's not really my calling. It never has been. It's really about working with people in groups, creating processes, creating systems. And I think part of that is I really know who I am now, and I know my processes. And I know, like, a really good friend, oh my goodness, I can't remember what I shared or didn't share with you. She has had a lot of health challenges. We've been really good friends for a long time. We were texting. She had pneumonia. She was in the hospital. And then all of a sudden she had a heart attack and she's gone. This was a week and a half ago. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it's still weird because it's like we're texting right till the end. And so I shut down for a couple of days, and I just told people I'm not going to meetings. I'm not doing things. I work with a lot of trauma specialists. So I said, I need help. And so I had some sessions with them. I've been really looking at what is my life now? Do I need to change things? And so it's an ongoing process. But number one, I know who I am. I know what I need. When people try to push me, there are certain people, it's so interesting for me. People are trying to help me. I really appreciate that. But they're trying to help me in a way that makes sense to them.
Right.
And I can say, thank you. That's not helpful for me right now. This is what I need from you.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important that you find out for yourself what you need. And then when it's like somebody today, I said, do you want to cancel this thing that we're doing? It's a lunch and an interview and all that. And that's next week. And I'm like, oh gosh, no, for my mental fitness, please, can we do this? Me not doing that is not going to make me feel better.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that she asked me the question, and she was willing to do some major stepping to switch things around. That really means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And I could have very easily said, maybe she's right. Maybe I should do that. And then I thought, no, that's not what I want. That's not what I need. But yay me, right?
Yes.
I knew that, and I immediately responded thanking her, but saying, can we please just still do it?
Yeah. And I want to add to give yourself some grace, because we plan and we think things are going to go one way, and it doesn't always work out that way. And we go through a barrier or a bump in the road, or however you want to say that analogy, to really lead us down the path we're supposed to go on. And there's always a learning or lesson in that time. So that's your time to focus on you. That is your time to find the lesson to help you get through it. So when you're on the other side, you know how to move forward. And then you can give back and help the person that's coming behind you that's going to go through the same thing.
And that's a really good point. We're always mentoring somebody, and we're always being mentored by someone, and always remembering that. And sometimes for me, it's in communicating with others, I have my aha moments. So, but there are certain people that I'm going to do that with, and others I'm not. Right. So again, that's part of knowing your process and what is your support team. There are certain people who are just going to confuse me. Right. And one of my favorites, you got to be careful of this, is there are people who want to help you because that's where they get their thrills.
Yes.
But it's not really about you.
Yeah. That is true too. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, so again, knowing yourself, having different practices, getting professional help in many different arenas, again, and knowing that can change over time. And somebody that you've been working with for a while may not work for you anymore. And you can work with a multitude of people. I have several people that I work with in different areas.
Yes.
And just having the courage to change things when you need to.
Yes. Yes. So what does being a professional mean to you?
Living consciously. For me, it's doing critical thinking, using my intuition, working really hard to develop skills, and doing good work on the planet. And I'm a humanitarian. Sometimes I get paid for what I do, and sometimes I don't. Well, that's not really true. I'm always paid, but sometimes I'm paid in appreciation. right?
Yes.
Yeah. Or different ways, because we're there. And if you're not getting paid, you might want to look at that.
Yes. That is true. Yes. So how can people get in contact with you if they want to connect with you?
The easiest way is to email me. My website is amyfrost.com, and my email, again, try to make things simple and easy. Just Amy, AMY, at amyfrost.com. And my thing is being the go-to person. If I can't help you, I would be honored to try to help you find help in some way. Again, there's lots of great organizations and lots of great people doing good work. It's there for you. If you need help in whatever arena it is, I promise it's there for you. You just have to reach out.
Yes. Reaching out is the first step, and it feels hard, but it is easy. People
And you don't have to know, the outcome. You don't have to know, where it's going. Just reach.
Yes. Any last parting words of wisdom?
Figure out what you're here to do and do it and enjoy it.
Enjoying it is part of the journey itself. I love that. Thank you so much.
With good friends.
Yes, with good friends.
It's not fun by yourself.
It is not fun. And you can't do it by yourself anyway.
Well, that's a good
You need
point.
some help and
we
support.
think we can, though, as your work addict.
Yes. Well, thanks again, Amy, for being here. I appreciate you as always. You are a dear friend of mine, and I thank you for coming and joining and sharing your knowledge with the professional listeners. Again, we'll be back here next month on the first Wednesday, which is June 7th, with another special guest. So tune in and look for that event, and we will see you then.
Thank you for the work you're doing.
Thank you, Amy.